it has been absolutely insane the last couple of years how much just how many people have fallen in love with my music. I'm really, really thankful for it and very excited that they like it that much.
Zach, top. It's wonderful to get a chance to have a chat with you. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. Thank you for taking the time and looking forward to talking to you.
And likewise, pleasure's all mine. Now I know you're a very busy guy right now. You're on the road, and you're just about to do another couple of gigs really soon. And we're
Yes,
very
sir.
much looking forward to seeing you very soon too. But I'll get to that in a second or two.
Sure.
You've had an amazing run of success lately in a relatively short period of time. So how does that feel?
It's wild. I think I kind of just am able to breathe a sigh of relief that I wasn't crazy and people would enjoy my music. So no, it's really been it's been cool. It felt like there was a long, long buildup for me. I think that's probably how it looks from the outside looking into, whatever artist you look at, it kind of feels like if they catch fire and get really hot, it looks like they did it overnight. And usually there's a long build up to it. And so it felt like, a lot of stuff paying off and coming to fruition, I guess, in the last couple of years. But it has been absolutely insane the last couple of years how much just how many people have fallen in love with my music. I'm really, really thankful for it and very excited that they like it that much.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm thinking, there are some artists, because you say you're taking a risk there to begin with. I know
Hmm.
you dropped out of college and,
Hmm.
it is a big gamble. And how many people have gone to Nashville with the dream and
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and and nothing happened. So and there you go, you're one of the winners. But I was particularly keen to mention you have a unique sound. I mean, it
Yeah,
wasn't a unique sound in the world of country back in the day, but the
yeah,
way country music has branched off in a million directions,
yeah.
I would consider you to be sitting very well with some of the huge artists that we've grown to love over the years. Does that make sense to you?
Thanks. Yeah, yeah. I think it's interesting. Yeah, country is as a genre is a wide, wide umbrella right now. And I think that there's a lot of right place, right time kind of stuff too that made my sound work as well as it did when I came out. And yeah, like I said, I'm really glad, really thankful that I happened to hit it at the right time and stuff lined up that folks were hungry for. Yeah, a little more traditional sound. Again, I don't think I don't ever want to be remaking or copying something from the past, but it definitely that was kind of all the stuff that I grew up on was way older stuff than 90s type stuff. I think that sonically my music obviously is reminiscent of the 90s, 80s and 90s type stuff. Um, but I think I landed there because of all the old stuff that I was listening to growing up. Old Lefty Frizzell and George Jones and Merle Haggard, and I was kind of being influenced by the same guys that influenced guys like Alan Jackson, and so I guess it makes sense to me that I kind of landed in a musically similar spot as those guys too.
Well, it's funny because in the back of my mind, I was figuring that I might ask you who your influences are or were, but clearly you've just
Sure.
answered that before I asked it. So
Yeah,
that's,
there's some of them anyway. Yeah.
I tell you what, that's quite a skill, Zach. I would hang on to if I were you. You're able to answer questions before you're asked them. That's good.
I appreciate it.
I got to ask you as well, have you ever been to Europe?
I've been a couple of times. My oldest sister and her husband actually lived over in Zurich for a
Oh,
couple well, a handful of years, I guess. And so the rest of our family went over twice. One time, kind of just went through mainland Europe. We spent some time in Italy, some in Germany. Yeah, we popped around a few different places. And then the second time we went over a couple years later, did a little just tour all the way through the British Isles and UK and all that stuff. So have not gotten to play music over there. So excited to be back. I loved it. I had an absolute blast getting to just kind of explore and do a vacation over there. But really excited to get to bring our show over there and get to meet a bunch of the European fans.
well, we're super excited too. And you've got
Thanks.
one, you're well ahead of some artists who haven't been here before, they're bringing their band over, so it's absolutely all new. At least how lovely we are for a start.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
no, but
100%.
seriously, and we're super excited. Now, you're not. Here's the thing I found as well. You're not just coming over here to play a few shows. You're coming here to headline seat to see. Now, it's almost like a few steps have been missed in this journey
Yeah.
because Lainey Wilson, Luke Combs, they came over, they played the small venues, then the medium venues, then the big you're just doing the big one straight off.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's, part of that, I guess, is the age of the internet that we're in now. It's, it doesn't take as long to build up a fan base, I guess, overseas. Y'all have TikTok and Spotify and the internet too. So you're seeing all the same stuff that, all the American fans are seeing as well. So it kind of makes sense. And then on the other hand, I agree with you that it's like, it feels like we skipped a step or two or something. And but anyway, I don't know. It's crazy. It blows my mind that far away. And with different lifestyles and all kinds of stuff. And so that many people are still enjoying you know, some goofball in a cowboy hat, singing country songs. So
I'm
it's
sh- I'm I'm sure you've heard as well through the grapevine, just how keen we are. The
yeah.
country has absolutely exploded here in the last five
Yeah.
years or so, completely.
What do you think that's about?
Well, that's a very good question because sometimes I ask the artist that. Um,
Sure.
I, do you know that's a particularly good one. I would say, like you said, because of the internet now, everywhere is open to everything.
Yeah.
I think there's a huge desire as well for the authenticity of country in all the
Sure.
other types of music out there. You kind of really hit home direct. Um,
Sure.
but when you go to the gigs here and you'll see it yourself, people don't just pop along there. They'll be wearing hats like you're wearing.
Yeah.
The ladies will be in their cowgirl boots. They'll be in their little
Yeah.
skirts. They'll be in the, they really go to town. It's a
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, it makes sense. There's a bunch of farmers and, people that live similar lives to whatever, the common country fan is over here too. And so it makes sense. And I think you're probably exactly right. It's the same thing that's why country has, it's always been fairly popular in the States, but lately it feels like it has become way more so. And I think part of that authenticity thing and people looking for something that yeah, makes them feel something or gets out of or just lets you escape from the age of computers and the internet and that type of thing. Even though you're discovering it on on computers and on the internet and on TikTok. But I think that you're right that folks everywhere are kind of hungry for that type of thing. So I'm very thankful for it. I'm glad there's a lot of folks that are liking country music these days.
Absolute. And you're singing about stuff that isn't necessarily, like you say, the computers and online and the cloud and all those things we all
Hmm.
live with these days. So it's more real world you're singing about.
Yeah,
But also the fact that it's huge in the major cities like London and Edinburgh and so on,
yeah,
so it's wonderful. It really is. And I know you're gonna have a ball because,
we're
the crowds
we're
will
very excited. I
will
can't
love it.
wait.
I've got to ask you as well about collaborations. So, do you have a bit of a wish list in the back of your mind? Is there someone who you go, oh, I wish we could get together at some point or not?
I really haven't thought much about that yet. That's
Yeah.
always to me felt like it's well down the road we'll do that. I feel like I'm still, an up and comer and establishing myself on the scene. And so it's like once we get there and it feels like I'm a household name or something, maybe then I'll start looking around to like, all right, let's kind of branch out and do something a little different with some other artists. I did we put out just a little mini project. I don't know if you've heard of a fellow named Billy Strings,
Oh yeah.
great guitar player. And yeah, so we put out 3 songs, I guess. And we just recorded different versions of a couple of my songs and then did an old Stanley Brothers song called Don't Cheat in Our Hometown together. And I guess that's kind of the only collaboration thing that I've done. But that made so much sense because we both grew up playing bluegrass and just loving guitar. And so we're super similar minded, I guess. And it hardly even felt like a collaboration. It was just like well, we're already doing this anyway, so let's just do it together for a minute.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, that makes perfect sense. But like
Yeah.
you say, it's not like you're trying to tick off every box in the first 10 minutes. You've got, you're going to
Yeah.
just see how it all goes.
Yeah. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. I like that little message there. Well, listen, when you get here, which will be March, do us a
Yeah.
favor. And if you've got time, swing by the studios and we'll have a proper catch up.
We'd love it. That'd be great.
Right. Well, listen, for now, it's been wonderful. And I wish you continued success. And we'll see
Thanks.
you in March.
Thank you, Eamon. Pleasure talking to you and looking forward to meeting you in person.